Pokemon Legends ZA has been teased in the latest Pokemon Direct, and in my last video, I went over a large list of speculations, hopes, and ideas, but in this video, I want to concentrate on one thought. Will Pokemon Legends ZA have a Pokemon game episode similarly to Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire's Delta episode? I'm of the opinion the answer is yes, and if this hopeful thought rings true, then what's it going to be about? What will it be named? What will be in it? Will there be a plot twist? Let's speculate and theorize. Alright, let's get this out of the way quickly. Perhaps this post-game content will go right back to the title of the game, Pokemon Legends ZA, with the name of this endgame content titled as the Zeta Alpha episode, named after and in honor of the Delta episode of Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Why though? Well, if Pokemon ZA is set to have Mega Evolution, well, just think about this. We've seen Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire remade as Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, so they could have Mega Evolution just like Pokemon Y and X. But between Ruby, Sapphire X and Y, Pokemon Emerald didn't get a remake, and we never saw it get the Mega Evolution treatment. Now, I haven't really mentioned this yet, but Sun and Moon has Megas, and it did get a remake, although I should probably won't realistically call it a touch-up. But anyway, the reason I bring this up is because of the title of the game, Pokemon Legends ZA. Now, reading into the lettering a bit more, the Z could easily represent Zygarde and Zeta, and the A could also represent the dragon Rayquaza, the alpha of the legendary trio Groudon and Kyogre, the mythical beast who would calm and quell the turbulent conflicts between both Pokemon and protect the planet. You see, the common ground between Zygarde and Rayquaza isn't just the Pokemon game's title, Z and A, but also in the fact that Zygarde itself is the Earth's safeguard and or protector, something that Rayquaza seems to share implicitly within the historical accounts from Zinnia and the Draconid tribe, but it also is observably protecting the planet in the Delta episode from what is effectively giant space rocks and Pokemon that are coming along for the ride. But then again, perhaps we might need to unite the protectors or free them from an evil team's use and or misuse to later then befriend them. I mean, it'd be very reminiscent of the underlying plot that occurs within Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald. Also, a Zygarde fetch quest for all the cells. I mean, it honestly reminds me of Breath of the Wild's Korok saving and seed collecting, and we do know that Pokemon Legends formula was inspired from Breath of the Wild, seeking to implement the open world and exploration and all that, whilst also innovating further from Pokemon Sword Shield. It'd be very on point if Game Freak implemented a collecting quest somewhere, someplace, to release Zygarde's full potential and protect the Pokemon world from an antagonistic force of some sort. But one other interesting point here is that if you inverted the lettering of the game's title from ZA, it becomes AZ, like a certain King AZ, a mysterious man who ruled over Kalos and used a great and terrible weapon, the ultimate weapon, and of course at the great cost of Pokemon and human life, scarring the world forever. Could this entire plot point involve the protectors Rayquaza and Zygarde awakening in response to the massive global threat that involves the ultimate weapon used by AZ? If that's the case, maybe we might see other characters brought in and merged with the story. Perhaps maybe a Draconid ancestor of Zinnia. We know that Pokemon Legends Arceus was set very far back in the past and contained a lot of implied ancestral characters, and AZ is a character that has great historical impact. That reminds me, if AZ really does make an appearance within Pokemon Legends ZA, maybe we might just have a fully fleshed out character arc, and perhaps we might gain a deeper insight into the ultimate weapon. Either way, it's been a very fun, if not incredibly neat, speculation of what could be the post-game for Pokemon ZA, or Pokemon Zeta Alpha as I'm calling it. Sadly though, I can only speculate with what little we have of the trailers. If you liked this video, subscribe, join our Discord server, and tell me your thoughts in the comments. Thinkers, have yourselves a big-brained Thonky day, and I'll see you all in the next video or over on Twitch live streaming. Bye-bye!